Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in. Today what we're going to do is remove the inner fairing. It's a fairly easy job to do. A lot of people are intimidated by it because you got all the wiring and everything else here underneath the main fairing or outer fairing. But don't be intimidated, it's fairly easy to do. And once you've known how to do it, you do it over and over again. You don't have to take it to the dealer or anything like that. Once again, fairly easy to do. So let's go through it. Okay, so up here, what we're going to be doing is disconnecting a few things. We've got this and this, which is basically just attached. We're going to pop those off. Going to disconnect the main harness the power going to the radio. All these that are also attached to the radio. Your right harness, left harness over here somewhere. And really that's about it. Once that is removed, what is done from that point is we're going to loosen up the two bolts here that are holding it on both sides. And we will basically be lifting it up, tilting it back towards us, and it's basically going to come right off of your front end at that point. So we're going to go ahead and take her apart. Okay, now what we're going to do is remove the two bolts on both sides. I'm going to lift this basically up, over, and to us. And there you have it. Not as hard as everyone thinks. Okay, so what we're going to do now in this portion of the video is remove the gauges. What we're going to do is send these gauges out to get customized. The normal gauges are backlit by orange LEDs. What I'd like to do is customize them according to the paint color. I believe I am going with a candy burgundy fade into black. Similar to this bike right here is what we're going to be doing with this build and giveaway bike. So rather than the deep dark cobalt blue that you see here, it will be a deep dark burgundy or brandywine red candy fade into black, and then the black will have the burgundy candy metal flake in the black that will just shine and glisten in the sun in bright lights. So this bike right here that we've been working on, the 22 Street Glide, will soon be looking very similar to this bike, but in red. If you notice, the bezels on the gauges match the paint. We'll be doing that as well. And then when this bike lights up, that it's backlit by blue rather than the orange. So like I said, what we're going to be doing here is removing the gauges out of here, sending them out to be modified with red LEDs, which will look cool with the paint job. So we're going to get down to it and take these gauges out. And in addition to removing these gauges, when we remove the gauges, we'll also be taking out the bezels that go around the gauges, so we can send that out for paint as well. Like I had stated before, they will be candy burgundy to match the paint job, so it'll look real cool. and separate this inner fairing from the metal framing to get to the gauges. There's 2 bolts in here, 2 nuts rather, 2 on the opposite side that holds the inner fairing onto this. So let's go ahead and separate it. So there's going to be 2 more screws up here, each side. Well, that's one way of doing it. Our gauges. And like I said, what we're going to do is send these out so they'll be backlit with red. The mileage will also be backlit by red. We'll keep a white LED for the needle in itself. It'll look pretty killer.